Antonio Davis in the lineup for the United States. Baron Davis at the point. Reggie Miller cross court, good pass. Marion got an open look and missed it. And let's see if Book pushed off trying to get the rebound. I believe he did.
We talk about battling, and you know Wallace is going to battle, and Book's going to get under there and battle. And he's trying to get the, you see where he gets that knee, right underneath the crack, and just move him out. Get him out of there. And right there, it's not quite strong enough. He got pinned underneath the bucket.
And Book with his second foul. He represents just about the only height other than Hickey that New Zealand has to offer at 6'10", and that might be gracious giving him 6'10", I'm not sure. Ball comes free. Baron Davis thinking about a long three. Nichols comes out to pick him up. Way off the mark. Fresh clock. Let's see if somebody takes a good shot this quick. So far they haven't.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the last 3 shots have been, Sean Marion's firing 19-foot jump shots, and I know he can shoot that shot, and you don't have a problem with that shot in transition, in rhythm. But once you're, when you know what your strength is, and you know what their weakness is, do it a couple times.
He's a guy that can shoot, but has been injured on a bad ankle.
God, he's great at that.
Yep.
I mean, if you get close to him, he will find a way to make the official blow the whistle. He leans into you, and his sister, Cheryl Miller.
Reggie comes over and gets a little tout for the hands. A lot of gold in that family.
Absolutely.
And Reggie, of course, the elder statesman at 37 years of age, and can still hit about 91% of his free throws.
I wonder how it felt to have your sister whooping your butt for about the first 15 years of your life. I'd be like, God, Dad's one thing,
hey,
Sis keeps tearing me up.
What doesn't kill you will make you better. Reggie knocks down both free throws and cuts the New Zealand lead to 1. And been very few turnovers, but New Zealand just threw that one away. That's their 4th. It gives the U.S. an opportunity here to regain the lead. Davis, there you go. Around a double, and he's fouled by Ramke.
Get into more of an attack mode instead of a relaxed mode. And by that, I mean, you're relaxing. That's when you can take the jump shots. Attacking the bucket is more energy. And sometimes you don't feel like doing that, but when you have that advantage, you're going to go in there, you're going to get hit, you're going to get fouled, you're going to get bumped. Taking the jump shot's the easy way out, but if you want to get in there and get some free throws and get to the line, do what Antonio Davis does. You show him the ball, put it on the floor, and try to get to the line.
Antonio, who started his career right here before being traded to Toronto, and then his career has just flourished since that time.
And he's one of those guys that you love the story. And he goes and plays overseas out of UTEP. And this is a guy who wasn't drafted, didn't drafted real high. I don't even know if he was drafted at all. And he goes overseas, and he comes back, and he makes the All-Star team. Yeah. He makes the World Championship team.
Not bad.
It's a great story. It shows you that, with some talent and with some work, then you can make something out of yourself. And he's certainly proven that.
Here's Book on the drive, and he drew a foul. It's Davis on the deck.
You look at right here, just, you don't get enough of the guys getting together. Miller and Baron Davis, a little bit too much of a gap. And if you get the momentum going the wrong way, I mean, all he has to do is make a quick move. He gets to the middle, and now you have numbers.
Book at the free throw line. Book's actually an American-born player, born in Buffalo, New York. Played at Canisius, and now a teacher for kids, underprivileged kids. All these guys have regular jobs. They're not paid to play on this national team, and miss both free throws. So they're doing it for love of country and pride and all the rest, and then they go back, some of them, to play in European leagues. Some of them do regular jobs. Davis on a turn. And Wallace keeps it alive. Reggie thought about it, didn't take it. And Davis partially blocked. Wallace finally in close. Oh, it was a struggle. U.S. regains the lead.
Talk about a man among men.
Yeah.
That's Ben Wallace. Look at those shoulders. That's a big man, and that's how he makes his living, being physical, blocking shots, playing defense, and this guy's just an animal under there.
U.S. was having some early trouble with China in one of the earlier games, and then he just took over muscle-wise. Jones lost the handle, and the shot clock expires. So another New Zealand turnover. They've been sloppy the last 2 trips down court, and they missed a couple of free throws. So their last 3 trips actually into the offensive end haven't been very fruitful for them. 7:42 to go first half. United States back in front, but they've trailed by as many as 6.
Let me see if that can Reggie Miller. He understands he could have taken that shot from 17 feet, but why do that? Let's get the ball inside and see if he wants to pitch it back outside. That's where you see the veteran leadership of Reggie. He can take that shot, but doesn't.
It's almost like he's saying, you know what, I'm going to wait until we really need one before I take one, because he's given up some open threes.
Yeah.
And Paul Pierce set to check back in for Reggie Miller. Here's the kind of guy that can explode on you. Of his 27 points in the win over Russia last night, 20 in the 3rd quarter. He does that for the Celtics occasionally, too.
I mean, he's amazing. Well, you still remember last year's game 5 against Philadelphia, where the guy was just in a zone like I've never seen.
Right.
Everything. I mean, we're not talking 2-footers. We're talking 3-pointers. We're talking pull-up jump shots. We're talking spin, whirling dervish. I mean, the guy was doing everything, and it was all fine to the bottom of the net. And he goes into last year, maybe regarded as one of the top 20, 25 players in the league. He comes out, now you're talking top 5, top 10, and a guy that you definitely want to have the ball in crunch time.
Number 3 scorer in the NBA. In fact, scored more points than anybody else. Wallace is fouled across the lane. Last night, Paul Pierce, we talked about it, in a huge game, he just started lighting it up in the 106-82 win over Russia.
Well, you certainly see the confidence in his face, and you see the confidence in his stroke. There's no question of whether to shoot or not. It's catch. Am I open? If I'm open, I'm going to launch. And once he gets it going, I know there's a lot of players, man. It's kind of stupid and redundant to say once he gets it going, he's unstoppable, because then he wouldn't have got it going if he wasn't unstoppable. But this guy is not just one-dimensional. I mean, he's doing it all. He's taking it to the bucket. He's shooting threes, and he's just a really tough guy to handle. You put a bigger guy on him, he drives by him. Put a smaller guy on him, he can post him up.
He's got that variety pack going.
I like variety packs, too.
Yeah, me too. It's not just regular chips. Yeah, that's
absolutely
true.
Those little ones, they weren't big enough, but I love those.
Cocoa Krispies?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. Jones trying to kick it outside, which they do well, trying to find the open shooter, and it's Dickel. 3 goes in and out, and then Jones didn't mean to, and got Pierce right in the chops. So he'll pick up his 2nd foul. 6:43 left in the half. U.S. by 4, and that's the biggest lead they've had.
I always felt as a player, even if you did mean to, you act like you didn't mean to.
Yeah, because you don't want to get in a fight right there.
Well, you don't want retaliation, then maybe you can get him again later on.
You get a second shot.
And then after that, he's not going to buy it.
No, after that, forget it. I trust you the first time, shame on me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Pierce had missed his first 2 free throws. 3 points on the night, and missed another. Having trouble from the strike. Flavel's checked in to the backcourt for New Zealand. He's bringing it up court right now. U.S. leading by 5.
Well, you can see the defensive pressure has been extended. That's another advantage they have. They're quicker, they're longer. You get in guys' face, and you don't let them catch and shoot. Make them put it on the ground before they do so.
And Baron Davis coming out on Jones. Jones threw it away, trying to get to Flavel. 6th New Zealand turnover now. As they've gotten a little sloppy here. As Tom said, U.S. has picked up the defensive steam a little bit, and it's showing in the box score.
Wow.
Another outside jumper by Wallace off the mark. See if Cameron gets his hands on it to shoot. They'd like it to go in his hands at least once every trip down court, because he is a great shooter. He's a wide body that can set picks and come off the pick and roll. Here he is on top. Dickel, deep ball. Got it. John Mark says good shooting.
And going back to Cameron, too, a good decision maker. I think they like his decision making as far as being able to pass it. Another quick shot by the USA team.
That one from Sean Marion, and he's had trouble from the outside. He's taking some shots that, as you said, he can hit, but it isn't there tonight so far, that's for sure. Brooks will try 3. That's a brick. Davis. Barron's going to take his own from 14. Rebound is Cameron all alone. Nice job using the big wide body. keep everybody else away from the ball.
The USA team right now, you're thinking to yourself, we're only up 2.
Yeah.
That's it. And New Zealand, goal accomplished. You're feeling good about yourself. Your shots are going to get easier to take. Their shots are just going to get harder to take the longer you stay in the game.
Dickel, nice look out to Jones for the lead. Rimmed out a 3. Ooh, there's some authority on a rebound. Wallace just snapped that thing out of the air. Pierce, good look to Marion underneath.
And that was a tough shot by Shawn Marion, but the New Zealand team doing a real nice job in transition defense. They're not sending a lot of guys to the offensive board, so I'm sure they're figuring, why bother? We're not going to get the offensive board. Let's at least get 3 guys back.
Inside, Hanari. Flavel, excuse me. Flavel cuts the lead back to Deuce. Marion drives. With 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the half, the United States has gone from being a couple of points down to 4 points up here in Indianapolis. We'll be back as the FIBA World Basketball Championships continue in a moment. We're 5-0 so far in this tournament.
Well, if we wonder if there'd be an intimidation factor, it certainly hasn't materialized.
No, it hasn't.
New Zealand is not intimidated by these guys at all, and they're willing to bang. They're willing to get in there and box out. And they're willing to do the little things to try to stay in this game. And I'm sure right now they're thinking, hey, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
We're only 4 down. We're playing some good basketball. Let's see if we can lull them to sleep a little bit more.
If they can hang and be only 4 down or even better at halftime, they would take it. I would be sure of that. Nice adjustment in midair by Flavel.
And they're getting to the spots they want to get to. Yeah, that's one thing. The USA team is not forcing them to take a lot of bad shots. They're being patient and getting the shots they want.
Davis had one rim out. Wallace tried to keep it alive, and now Pierce buries a 3. Paul Pierce with 6. 5-point U.S. advantage, 38-33. Here's Hickey on a drive.
Yeah.
Boy, he wanted to keep that high to keep it from getting blocked, but he almost missed the top of the box.
That was not good.
Nope. Pierce behind the back. Little sloppy. I don't think George liked that one much. Here's a push to Jones, and that turnover cost the U.S. 2, that's for sure. Jones has 9. Good feed from Mark Dickel.
Well, turnovers are only good if you can convert them into buckets.
Yep.
Doesn't do you any good to get a turnover and then not score. And the New Zealand team doing a nice job off the turnover, not waiting, but pushing the ball and get an easy layup.
Pierce penetrates. Dickel knocked it away from him. And now the whistle. And 3-second violation on U.S.
We're talking about getting the turnover, and what do you do with the turnover? Dickel gets it, he pushes it, keeps it until he makes Finley commit. Finley commits right over to Jones for the layups. Too many times you see guys in the fast break pass it back and forth when it's 2-on-1. Ideally, what you'd like to have happen is the one guy who has the ball in his hands, that was Dickel, take it and make the defender commit. If he doesn't commit to you, you lay it up. If he does, you pass it off as he did to Jones.
And the U.S. with another turnover and the points off for New Zealand. They've got an opportunity now to get a couple more because the U.S. just got caught with a 3-second violation. So with 3 minutes left in the first half, the United States leading New Zealand, but by only 3. Flavel, nice push to Cameron, outside to Hickey. And cleared out of there by Ben Wallace again. Aaron Davis, the dish, Finley, that's been his spot. Got another one. 4th 3 for Michael Finley.
And the difference there is penetration. Penetrate, kick out.
Kick out.
Exactly. You have it, and then you're in rhythm, and boom. But it's fun to watch this New Zealand team play because they set the picks, they got the flare screens, and right there, Flavel wide open.
And he hits a 3. So, from Finley to Flavel. 41-38. Finley, by the way, has 16 to lead the United States. Aaron Davis weaving through traffic. Everybody backed away from him. All of a sudden, he said, wait a minute, I'm open.
That's rough. Usually guys don't get away from you. I don't know if he used any deodorant today, but guys, you're 8 feet away from the bucket. Go attack somebody.
Cameron Trying to move inside. And little hook shot off the glass. I love this guy. He looks less like a basketball player than I do. And he can play. Here's Finley on the baseline. Things warming up a little bit. It's up and down the court. Wallace keeps it alive. Pierce bumped by Flavel. And a whistle with 1:33 remaining in the first half. We got a timeout. Michael Finley. As Tom said earlier, he likes offense. He plays for Dallas, and he's putting up some offensive numbers tonight. 16 points, 4 3-pointers for Michael Finley. But still, guys like Harold Cameron keeping New Zealand in the hunt. United States leading New Zealand by 3.
That's usually where it's to be found. 3-pointer from the corner. Drano. So, you know, I got one of those. Let's go ahead and try it again. And then here off the kick out, Baron Davis creating shots for Michael Finley. Lighten it up. He's one of the guys that's lighting it up. 4 for 8 from beyond the arc. 16 points. He is the guy that's getting it done. And we're talking about offense, and Brad said, yeah, Dallas, you know how to score. If you can't score, you can't play for Nelly.
That's right.
You just can't play for that guy.
And U.S. still having trouble with their free throws as Paul Pierce misses another. He's 1 for 5 from the stripe. Got the second. 4-point lead, 90 seconds left first half.
But if you're New Zealand here, you don't want to do anything stupid. You got to within 4 points, a minute 20, run some clock and see if you can get a couple more shots. And even if you're down 5 or 6, that's good. You just don't want to be down 8 or 9 and let the USA make a big run.
And you can hear the slap of the ball. George Karl didn't like the call because they're going to call a foul on whoever got Cameron. They're going to call it on Wallace. Notice how these officials do their hands different when they do the numbers over to the scoreboard.
I've never paid much attention to officials.
I know you haven't. But Eduardo Sancha and Daniel Delgado, I'm having trouble with the numbers off their hands. Anyway, that was on Wallace.
They always called fouls on me.
Yeah, that's why you had nothing to do with them.
I didn't want to have anything to do with those guys. On me again, huh?
Yeah. You knew by the sound of the whistle what number it was.
Absolutely. Well, I just knew when I was on the court with like a guy like Chris Mullin or Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, I knew they weren't calling it on them.
Nice drive inside. Kirk Penny inside, and all of a sudden, 2-point game. Minute 13 left in the half. So when Tom and I said they would love to be in the 4-point range at halftime, they are in the 5-point range right now because Pierce just knocked down a 3.
Well, Penny's one of those guys on the team that can put the ball on the ground. He give you 1 or 2 dribbles, and he can get to the rim.
There he is, with Finley on him. A couple of Wisconsin Badgers. One an old one, one a new one. Almost lost it. Hickey missed it. Marion trying to clear it out. Whoop, hit Hickey in the back of the leg, and now a foul. Well, that was a highlight reel. Henare picks up the foul.
Looks like he's going for a little hacky sack there.
A Hickey sack. Hit him in the ankle, and the ball was loose.
Now, I think if you're New Zealand, you know, Sean Marion at the line, but even if you get the ball back, I still say you try 2 for 1. 39 seconds left. You can maximize, you know, getting 2 shots for 1 shot right here.
And it's a break off the free throw line again.
We have to repaint that rim. Ooh. Free throws, not good.
No, they haven't been. That one's a little better. Marion's got 5. The lead is 6. Cameron trying to set a pick, and long ball missed by Henare, and back comes the United States. Baron Davis pull-up jumper. In and out. Cameron keeps it alive. Now you hold for 1 shot. Yeah. We'll see if they have the opportunity to do so. 16 left. Shot clock's off. 6-point game. New Zealand, you would like to get Kirk Penny open if they can get him a screen. May not happen. Cameron's going to have to do this himself. Well, he got a heck of a drive out of it, but he missed it. That was just one of those get-out-of-the-way drives. The big fella almost knocked one in before the break, and a good first half. Tab Baldwin looking at his club, not just awed by playing the United States. They not only are in it, they led the United States, and he's glaring at the officials as he walks off the court right now.
Well, give it to these guys. We like, you know, they're not intimidated. They're taking it to the rim, and they're getting. The one thing I've noticed in the first half is they're getting the shots they want to get. If you're George Karl and you talk to the USA team, it's got to be more about defensive pressure. Let's get in these guys' faces. Let's not let them get the shots they want to get.
So it's halftime. The United States trailed by as many as 6. And now they're up by 6 at the break. United States 48, New Zealand 42. Let's send it back to the studio and Linda Cohn. Linda.
Thanks, Brad. Linda Cohn in the ESPN2 studios. Plenty ahead for you at
States by 6. That matches the biggest lead that they had in the first half. New Zealand actually led at one point by 6 in the first half as well. So it's more than just an admiration society for the guys from New Zealand. They're out to try to win this thing, and they're within striking distance.
Well, a couple things I would expect to see change is New Zealand shooting over 50%, 51.5% for the first half. They're only shooting 42% for the tournament. So I expect the USA to turn up the defensive pressure and New Zealand not to shoot quite as well. I expect USA to go inside more. There's no reason they should have 7 more three-point attempts than New Zealand. I mean, you're the team that can dominate inside. You would expect New Zealand, and as you said, you know, New Zealand more points in the paint than the USA, which doesn't seem to figure, and it'd be surprising. And another thing, if you're USA, you may win this game. Let's say you only win by 10 or 12.
Right.
The other teams may think you're vulnerable. You get Argentina.
And Argentina is playing sky high right now.
Yeah, Yugoslavia, maybe down the road. You get Spain. Yeah, I think right now, when you're looking at a team, you want to dominate them. You want to win by 30 or 40 because that gives other teams hope, or it quashes their hope.
What's going on right now is the officials in this event have their whistles electronically connected to the time clocks here, which should give you the greatest stoppages of clock you'd ever get when the whistle blows. And we had a little battery replacement here right before the start of the second half, so that's slowed things down and gets a smile from Tad Baldwin. Impressive guy today at practice. I just liked his attitude about this whole thing. He said he's been questioned for the last 6 to 8 months about this team and what they expected to do in this event, and he said, you know, I didn't want to set a goal and say, hey, you know what, 5th place would be nice or qualifying the Olympics would be nice, because he said you never get higher than that goal if that's what you set. He said, I just kept saying Russia is all we're thinking about. That was their first round game, and it's a game they won, and they scored the first 2 points of the third quarter with Phil Jones on the drive.
I think any athlete will tell you, regardless of what sport you're playing, you have to believe you can win each and every game. You don't, maybe if you get outside your body, you don't believe it, but going into that game, you have to say, you know what, for 40 minutes, we can beat this team.
And he said, you know, realistically, maybe we can't play with the United States, but I think at halftime, he probably went in and said, hey, guys, you know what? It's 48 to 42. It was at halftime, 48-44 now, the chance to cut the lead down 2 more. By the way, the United States started with their starting 5. That shot off the mark. So it's Pierce, O'Neal, Finley, Andre Miller, and Elton Brand that took the court for George Karl to start the third quarter. Statistically, in the first half, the U.S. shot 38%, as Tom said, almost 52 for our friends from New Zealand. And they had more points in the paint than the United States, 18 to 16, which you would never dream of in this matchup. Jones, they might have gotten a piece of that one, and Brand will clear it off. Andre Miller leaves it for Finley. He was red hot early. Nobody picked him up. 18 for Mike Finley.
But Moses,
he parted the lane, the trapezoid.
Unbelievable. How can you just let a guy like that go right down the middle? And someone's got to step up, don't they?
We have a trapezoidal lane. I guess they didn't know what was going on. There's a nice move by Kurt Penny. Penny's got a dozen. He's going to be a good one. All Big Ten performer last year for co-champion Wisconsin in the Big Ten race, and this will keep him warmed up for the season. Andre Miller, 3-pointers short. Intensity's picked up to start this third quarter. Elton Brand is going to be fouled by Phil Jones.
The foul at number 8. Phil Jones, his third.
There's the stats from the first half, 52% from the floor for New Zealand. And free throw situation, the offensive boards, quite a difference. And that's a 2-pointer for Andre Miller, just inside the 3-point line.
And they're not letting them get out and run either. 7 points, it's all they've had on the fast break. And that's because their transition defense has been so good.
Well, the lead 6. Dickel got it by Miller on top. Brand and Cameron banging on the high post. 4 on the shot clock. Gonna have to hurry one. Rebound, O'Neal. Finley looking to run. Wide opens Pierce for 3. Got it.
Those are 2 guys right now from the outside, Finley and Pierce. And Finley does a nice job of getting not quite to the middle, but those skip passes, boy, you get the weak side defense to collapse a little bit, and he found Scoot Pierce with a nice spacing.
Here's 4 out of 5 outside the stripe. The lead is swelled to 9, the biggest by either team tonight. Andre Miller picks up the foul for the United States. Andre's first. George Karl said to Andre Miller as he walked by where we were talking to Georgetown, he said, Andre, you're going to start tonight. You all ready? And I think Andre thought he was kidding because Baron Davis has started at the point most of the tournament so far. Kurt Penny knocks down 2. And he said, yeah, Coach, whatever you say, I'm ready. He was so nonchalant. Whether he thought he was kidding or not, I don't know. But he did start, and he started this third quarter. 55-48. Turnaround no good. A lot of black jerseys there, but it comes out to the white-clad United States. Pierce. Whoa. Wow. Yeah, that one was from the RCA Dome, which is where some of the other games are going on across the street.
That one could have broken a finger coming off. You're not expecting something like that to come off. I mean, that one came off harder than a hit. Stick a finger up there, boy, you might get a nice little jam out of that.
You could lose it.
Absolutely.
Cameron picked up the foul, his second. 7 minutes to go in third quarter. Brand the kick out. Finley was hot early. That one in and out, kept alive by Miller. Oh, acrobatic. That's about as fancy as Andre's going to get on you. And Reggie Miller, no relation, with the cheer from the bench for his teammate. 9-point lead again. And a foul on Andre Miller. Slipped a little bit defensively, trying to stay with Dickel. Reggie has not played much because of a bad ankle. David Aldridge is with an interested spectator.
Hi, Cheryl.
What's up, Big Daddy? What's up, Big Daddy?
The last time we were set together, Reggie hit like this long shot to tie the overtime game against New Jersey.
Well, I thought that I was going to possibly lose my job because I'm not supposed to be rooting for my brother, but wasn't it a great shot?
It's a great shot.
It was a great game, actually.
It's a great game. What do you get out of stuff like this? I mean, this is it's a good competition, but at the same time, the U.S. seems to be the better team than everybody that they play.
Well, you know what? It's funny because I've read all the articles, and this is a team that's not supposed to. Everybody's challenging the U.S., but you know what? Until somebody does something, this doesn't have too much fun. I mean, Paul Pierce, Andre Miller, you got J.O., Elton Brand. Nobody's going to sit up and challenge these guys. I mean, the closing of the gap, give me a break. It's not going to happen.
Your brother likes to still play and still do these things. You surprised that more guys didn't do this summer? More of the star players didn't participate?
Well, I've always said all along that my brother's a freak of nature. I mean, he's extremely patriotic. I think the biggest disappointment right now is that he, twisted his ankle and everything else, and he can't be in there. But you see him, I mean, he's a great cheerleader. And I've said that all along. In high school, I thought he'd been a great cheerleader, but just kidding, Reggie.
No, you.
I know. No, I'm really not. But no, it's been great for Reggie because he likes being in Indiana. The fact that he's representing his country, the fact that he's playing with these younger guys and the younger generation, it's a great opportunity for him.
Cheryl, throw it back to Tom and Brad.
Hey, Tom, let me tell you something. Cut my brother some slack, all right? With your non-playing self in Arizona. No, Tom, I love you to death. The ball head and everything. Sweet, sexy thing, you.
What did I do?
At least you didn't call you Big Daddy.
What did I do?
David got a Big Daddy out of the deal.
Is that good, Big Daddy, or that bad?
I think that's good.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
It sounds good to me. I don't know. The lead's gone to 11, though, so that gap closing when Cheryl said forget about it, maybe it is starting to widen again with 5 minutes left third quarter.
Well, I will disagree with one thing that she said. I think, maybe not in this game, but you look at the way the international players have been playing, the gap is closed. I mean, it's not 1992 anymore. Right. We're not winning every game by 45 points. And then you just look at the proliferation of guys in the NBA. Good players, Stojakovic, Turkoglu, Vlade Divac, Yao Ming coming in. I mean, Dirk Nowitzki, one of the top 5 players in the NBA. The gap is closing.
They're going to call offensive foul on Paul Pierce there. United States lead has swelled to 11 despite that foul by Pierce. He can do it on both ends of the court. Not only hitting threes. Watch what he does to Dickle's shot attempt. Get out of here. 59-48 U.S. for NFL football. Can he better that record this year? I don't know. That's going to be tough to beat. Jeff Garcia hopes he doesn't get about 5 to start the season. I know that.
Well, unlike Brett Favre, I doubt Jeff Garcia is going to fall down for him.
Here's Penny.
Just kidding, Michael.
Penny against Finley and rejected by O'Neal. So the shot blocking prowess of the United States starting to surface here in the third quarter. Pretty good move by Penny, but
it was a good move there. That's what the good shot blockers come from. Whoa! Ouch!
That's the second one in a row. You would have thought there would have been a little body there, but I guess not. Pierce on the other end got it. And I know that Tam Baldwin is saying the same thing to the officials. He thought that that last block shot was a whole bunch of body, but no call, and Pierce is now 5 of 6 from outside the arc. It's a 14-point U.S. lead. And the technical's been called on Tam Baldwin. So as I said, he stared down the officials heading to the locker room. He erupted a moment ago on that second block shot by Jermaine O'Neal, and it drew the ire of the officials enough that the technical's been called. So Michael Finley steps to the free throw line. Finley with 18, leading the United States. 19 now. And this one will put him about on his average from this past NBA season with Dallas.
Well, that last block shot was ugly.
Yeah, that one, you could hear the sound.
Oof. That's one of those ones you don't want to go back in there for a while.
Bench technical, so the 2 shots and now the ball. And all of a sudden it's a 16-point ball game.
Everybody always makes such a big deal out of shot blockers throwing the ball out of bounds or blocking it off the backboard and it goes out of bounds. And I agree. I mean, everybody always inevitably brings up Bill Russell.
Right.
How great he was at keeping the ball in bounds.
How about the intimidation factor?
I think there's a place for a couple of those a game.
Yeah.
Where you throw one into the 5th row or you smack one off the board.
Pierce got another one. Holy mackerel. 6 threes for Pierce. I guess he wants to lead in scoring again tonight.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He is pretty good. He gets tangled up with Kirk Penny, and it's a turnover by New Zealand. And all of a sudden, the game is getting out of hand for the folks from New Zealand. 67-48. Remember, this was a 6-point game at halftime. And remember what we told you earlier in the ballgame. The third quarter in this event has belonged to the United States. They have just pummeled people in the third 10-minute segment, and that's why they're sitting where they are right now at 19.
New Zealand is sitting back in the zone. You got to try to find the sweet spots in the zone. The little creases right in the middle of the zone. And, of course, skip passes always work.
Here we go again. This one's short, though. And Hickey clears off the board.
Well, I really believe the first half, USA, they can say they're playing as hard as they can, and the intensity level is high, but it's not. They come out in the third quarter, and it's time to strap it on and do some business.
Dickel, nice dish in the lane. He got it right back. And now Cameron with a deep ball. Not this time. Pierce with the board. 3 minutes left, third quarter. Now every time Paul Pierce touches it, the crowd starts to come to life a little bit. Here's O'Neal. Dickel clears off the miss. Tell you what, Mark Dickel can weave through some traffic. Penny, nice pull-up around Pierce, but he missed the shot. Dickel says, let's just slow it down a second.
Well, they're coming back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah.
It is not shooting quite as well as it was the first half.
This guy can shoot out there, but he's missed 2 in a row. We saw him go around the arc today and not miss a 3-point shot at practice.
And you watch the rejections right here. We talk about intimidation. It's, that one hurts. And you're saying, no, wait a minute. And this one right here, that was a double thud. Off the hand, off the glass, fast break starter.
That's the one that caused the technical,
Yeah.
and I don't really blame Tam Baldwin on that one. If you ask me, O'Neal got him with more of his knees than he got with a hand.
Yeah, but it was so fun to watch. Why,
It was.
Why stop the action?
Yeah, let him play. Reggie Miller's checked in for the United States, and that gets a big round of applause. So 2:35 left in the half. Andre Miller and Reggie Miller both in the lineup. Andre Miller launches a 3 of his own. Boy, it's a three-point show tonight.
Well, they're picking them apart now.
Yep.
Now it's about getting the ball to the middle of the zone, and now they're going from the inside to out. But if you can get to the middle of the zone, you have just about any shot you want to.
Whistle and elbow underneath. It's going to be on Reggie. And picks up a foul somewhere in that mess.
I'm not sure where that was. I'm not a big...
Uh-oh. Cheryl
Only Cheryl was happy with the call.
And we got a timeout. New Zealand takes a timeout with 2:15 remaining in the third quarter. A third quarter that has belonged to Team USA, and they lead now by 22. Reggie Miller, 37 years old, as I mentioned, the elder statesman on this team, and as Cheryl said, one of the great cheerleaders as well when he can't play because of a bad ankle, but you know what, he can still play. Reggie Miller, as only Reggie can do a lot of different things. But one thing is buzzer-beating shots like, look at this line drive, bang. That's not all he can do, though. It's like a fountain of youth thing because he's not just an outside shooter. He can still do things like this, going against Kerry Kittles and slams it home at 31 in the game, despite the fact his team lost.
I think there are some Knicks fans going, you know, we've seen that before.
We've seen that before.
We've seen that before. And I, you know, as I was watching
I don't think
that,
Spike was at that game, though, probably.
and I don't know if Reggie actually called bank on that shot, but it's uncanny the way that guy can hit big shots. Although maybe even more uncanny was, how can you leave him open at the end of the game?
Yeah.
I'm putting everybody on him. I don't
Absolutely.
care. Somebody else take the shot. I've seen this guy do it way too many times throughout the course of his career. We talked about all the things that he brings to a team, intangibles like being able to get to the free throw line, knowing how to get the ball inside, knowing how to get guys involved in the offense. But one thing he's known for is hitting open jump shots and hitting clutch jump shots.
And Reggie could become only the first American male to earn 2 World Championship gold medals if the U.S. goes on to win this gold. Some of the women have done it, but no other males are ever won 2 golds in this event. Here's three-pointer on the baseline by Jones. Got his own rebound somehow. And then he had it swatted out of there by Pierce, who didn't even know he was going to block it. Now Andre Miller runs with it. Pull-up jumper. Got it.
Well, I think, you know, when you go back to Reggie Miller, it's nice to see a guy that wants to play in 2 of these things.
Exactly.
I think a lot of guys in the NBA figure like, well, you know what, I paid my dues, I played in 1 of these things. That's good enough for me. Whereas in other countries, I'm sure they'd be willing to play as long as they have them. And that's just not the case here in America.
Most people assume that the United States has just trounced everybody and won more gold medals than anyone in this event. That's not true. Yugoslavia has more golds than the U.S. Here's Reggie's first shot. He missed it. But the golds for the United States, the first one came in 1954, and then 1986, and then 1994. But they are not the defending champions, and they do not have more gold medals in the World Championship than anybody else. Olympics is a different story, and Tom and I have been talking about that since we've been here. It seems like more people would have more pride in playing for that because they feel it's a bigger event. But to these folks, these other 15 countries from around the world, that's not necessarily the case. And finally, a foul call underneath. The United States, when they put NBA players in, they've never lost in international competition. They're going to try to make it 58-0 tonight. That's their points per game and the opponent's points per game, and that's fairly close to what the margin of difference is right now. The United States in this event has a 27.5-point margin of victory, averaging 101 to 73.5 for the opposition. So they're pretty close. Like Tom said earlier, they're not winning by 42 like the Dream Team, but they're still beating people's brains in by 28 points. I mean, what do you want?
Absolutely, and I think the point is it's getting closer. And sooner or later, one of these foreign teams, foreign national teams, are going to be able to compete and beat the USA team, especially if you get guys like Kobe Bryant that doesn't want to play, or Tracy McGrady. There's a three-pointer. That's a three-pointer. And I know Shaq had the toe problem. Yeah. But there are guys, and Cheryl, I'm sure, very happy with that three-pointer. But yeah, they're getting their best players every single competition because it means a lot more to them to play in these competitions than, quite frankly, it does to a lot of our guys.
20 seconds left in the quarter. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
And it's not just basketball. I mean, you even go to tennis. You know, Davis Cup.
Right.
That's one of the reasons John McEnroe decided he didn't want to deal with the headaches, trying to get Pete Sampras to play, trying to get Andre Agassi to play, trying to get some of the better players to play. And I think if you go around the globe and you talk about sporting events, whether it be a baseball exhibition, basketball, you know, certainly there's not football, but soccer, and even the other sports like tennis, it means more to them to win those events. And it certainly means more to them to beat us than it does for us to beat them.
Yep. You got a big target on yourself if you're wearing the United States uniform as far as competition of a sport created by somebody from the United States, and the gap getting a little bit smaller. Oh, he missed the slam, and that's going to end the third quarter unless Jones can hit one here. And it rims out. So the third quarter again belongs to the United States, as it has throughout the World Championships. They stretch a 6-point halftime lead into a 23-point third quarter lead. And one of those threes in that 23 came from the old man. He can still fill it from the outside. End of three, 75-52 U.S. At the end of three, and as we take a look at our American Airlines more room in the paint, we'll tell you part of the reason why. When you get offensive rebounds, you get second chance points, partner.
Absolutely, and they've been getting the offensive rebounds in the first half. They just weren't able to get them and put them back in. And now in the second half, they're getting the offensive rebounds. They're finding a way to get the points in the bucket. And then Michael Finley's been doing it from the outside, him and Paul Pierce. And that's a direct result of being dominant from the inside. Because when you're dominant from the inside, it makes your job easier from the outside.
Finley was the number 2 scorer coming in. He and Pierce both have 20 as we are set to start the fourth quarter. And Wallace wins the jump ball. Baron Davis, Antonio Davis, Sean Marion, Reggie Miller, and Ben Wallace on the floor for the United States. A little bit bigger team. Davis on a spin. Nice turn.
That was a nice spin. Just created a little space, and Hickey, you know, did a nice job of keeping him from getting to the goal. But what Antonio Davis does is lean into you a little bit, then he fades away, and that creates a space to get off the shot.
Up 25 with 9.5 to go. Reggie cross-courts it down to Marion on the baseline. He'll pull up there and airballed one. But Antonio Davis was in the right spot at the right time. Finally, somewhere in that pile of humanity is a foul. And it's going to be on Hickey.
So I think that was a pass. I'm more of an optimist. More of a glasses half full type guy.
That was a great pass.
And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
I think he saw him over there, and that was just a nice skip pass over to Antonio Davis.
Yeah, wait till you get in that studio. You'll say, man, that's the worst shot I've ever seen. But seeing you're out on the court now, it's a pass. That's right, see? Changes everything. You'll have a whole different set of rules when you're doing...
it's all about proximity.
That's right. Reggie free for a second, now hooks it back out to Davis. This has given George Carl a little bit of an opportunity to look at a different combination. And he said to us today, he says, you know, the games have been kind of too close for me to really take a look at different combos, because we've had to pull away from teams, and they have had to, even though, as I said, they're beating people by 27.5. That got inflated by really one of their games, but because it's close at halftime.
Brutal call. Baron Davis from raking across the arms, and that was all leather right there.
Jay Williams and Rafe LaFrance, they don't get much time at all. Jay's newcomer soon to the Chicago Bulls after an All-American career at Duke. Rafe, another one of the Kansas guys, played with Paul Pierce there. Great shot blocker and three-point shooter in the NBA. Henare. Wallace all alone. Man, when Wallace goes up for a rebound, he might as well just get out of the way.
Yeah, we talked about it. That's what this guy does, and he's just an animal.
Marion, that wasn't a pass. That was a shot.
And it's all started on the defensive end. They only allowed New Zealand 10 points in the third quarter, and that's where you find out about the intensity. Not the offensive end. The offensive end, everybody wants to score, and that'll take care of itself. But on the defensive end, are you going to deny passes? Are you going to get in the passing lane? They've been doing that the second half.
New Zealand's only scored, as Tom said, 12 points in 12 minutes. They've only scored 10 points. Missed dunk there.
You don't get those calls when you're up 29.
I don't think so. Well, I give the group from New Zealand a lot of credit because for 2.5 quarters, they were right in the hunt here. Hickey seen a lot more time tonight, but not getting the shot off in time. Another turnover, back-to-back turnovers by New Zealand.
Well, I know Shawn Marion, nice little give and go right here. And yeah, I mean, they grabbed his elbow, but you're up 29 points. Referee's not going to give you that call, and nor should he feel any pity for you. I know they say call it as it is, but hey, up 29.
Rafe LaFrentz, who we just mentioned a moment ago and you saw on the bench, is in the lineup for the United States. Here he is. First shot, got it. Not bad when you can bring a guy like that off the bench.
Yeah, well, one thing he can do, you look at him as a 7-footer, and he's not really an inside presence on offense. On defense, he is. He can get in there and block shots. But offensively, he's the guy that's going to space the court, bring the opposing center out, and if you leave him open, he can definitely drill it.
Jones missed the outside jumper. So the lead is swelled to 31 at the 7-minute mark. An aerial inbound. Cameron's been really quiet. Guy that was scoring about 16 points a game. 7 in the first half, hadn't scored in the second half for New Zealand. One too many passes, maybe, unless there's a foul called inside.
Calling for kicking, I think, yeah.
Okay. So fresh clock. Flavel comes back in. Hanari goes out. Judd Flavel had 7 points in the first half, and he'll inbound on the baseline with 6:49 to play in this 5th game of the tournament for these two teams. Look out, Barron. I almost had to take a charge there.
The head coach of New Zealand, we're going to work on our game. We're trying to get better. This is a learning experience for us. So whatever point of the game they are, whatever the score is, that's not going to dictate how we're going to play.
Davis, nice crossover. What a spin inside. Whoa, what a spin inside, and then finished off by Antonio Davis.
My goodness.
Davis to Davis. Look at Michael Finley's smile.
What?
I don't know if there is a slow-mo on this. Watch your spin move.
What vision. I mean, to be able to spin and then not get dizzy and fall down and be able to find him right there,
Oh.
that is a sweet pass.
Sure was.
And a strong finish. And watch this right here. Not only the spin's awesome, but whoop, right there, that low foul bucket. That was yummy.
The only thing they didn't cap was the three-point play. They missed the free throw. Jay Williams has checked in for the United States, the youngest member of this team. Book on the hook. Marion on the rebound.
Who are you, Nipsey Russell?
Baron Davis, deep ball, got it.
Boy, the dike is busted.
Lead is 33.
Now, what would happen if they stopped the game right now in the last 5.5 minutes playing rugby? I'm wondering if New Zealand...
I just want to see the dance again. I don't know. Penny. And he is fouled. I think shooting a 3. Let's wait and see. Foul's going to be on Shawn Marion. I don't know if he's outside the arc or not. I thought he was.
There he is.
And it is going to be 3 free throws. Boucher goes out. And Winithana comes in for New Zealand. He doesn't get much playing time either, so both coaches are having the luxury, if you want to put it that way, for George Karl, it's a luxury to go to some of the guys that don't see a lot of play. And for New Zealand, they have conceded that this one's over. But, you know, Tad Baldwin also told us, you know, if they blow us out, he said, I'm not going to feel bad about that. He said, you know, when you have a team down, go ahead and beat them as bad as you can. So if it's a 30-point game, it's a 30-point game.
Yeah.
But the thing he's got to be impressed with is for 2 quarters and 2 minutes, his team was in the hunt.
No, I think that's what you tell your team, you know, going into the next game, going into other competitions. You tell your team, you know, we played with the best in the world, and if we can get out there and we can play our game, we can communicate with each other, we can battle, then, you know, we can play with other teams.
That's right. Elton Brand, pull-up jumper in the paint. Marion kicks down to LaFrance, and Rafe missed it in close. I think he didn't quite know where he was.
I mean, sometimes you find yourself hurrying down there.
Yeah.
Instead of taking your time, maybe a pump fake or just gather, you want to get it off quicker than maybe you need to.
New Zealand turns it over, just under 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. The United States on our way to a 5-0 start in this event. They lead 88-57. To their 58th straight win with NBA players in international competition, and they'll be 5-0 against a 5-0 Argentina team tomorrow night on ESPN2. Tom and I, David and Kevin and the whole gang will be here to bring you that one, so we hope you'll join us for that, because Argentina, they're juiced for the game, and they have beaten all the other teams. They are now considered the threat, if there is a threat to the United States. And Argentina won earlier tonight over Germany, so they're all ready to go at 5-0, and so is the United States, and that's our matchup tomorrow night.
Well, they're a good team.
Yeah.
I still think if the USA team comes out and plays with the intensity they played with in the second half here, you're still looking at a 20-point win. I mean, they're that much better than that team. But you get into a situation where you don't come out with the intensity like they did against New Zealand in the first half, you may not find yourself up 5. You may find yourself down 7 or 8 points, and then it becomes a problem.
Cameron turns and knocks down a 3. And I won't forget Pero Cameron very soon. Just don't see many guys that look like football players playing international basketball. LaFrance inside, and Rafe missed another one. Guys on board and scored it. And he's fouled. So as we said, tomorrow night we will be here. United States playing Argentina. We'll bring you that one on ESPN2. Our friends from TNT, Marv and Mike and the gang on TNT Thursday night in the quarterfinals, and then NBC will take over. NBC will have Saturday semifinals at 4:30 Eastern. So if you're following the United States, join us tomorrow night, and join our friends from TNT and NBC the rest of the weekend. The weekend, I should say. 4 minutes left, 31-point game.
Well, it's nice they're up 31 points now. But I tell you what, when the game was close, Coach over here, Coach Crow, grinding those mints.
He was.
I'm telling you, he's the best breath in Indiana.
I think he switched to gum now. Things have calmed down. You swallow a mint, you got a chance. You swallow gum, you might have to do the Heimlich on him, from here. So
I know that. I'm well schooled at that.
Williams inside. Jay Williams, nice drive by the Bulls rookie, number 2 pick in the NBA draft.
This is what the Bulls are hoping to see a lot of for years to come. And a lot of people question whether, it should have been Jay Williams, or, and you watch right here, the explosiveness that Williams has. And not just the explosiveness, he's strong when he gets to the hole. I mean, he can take the bump and he can finish. But between him and Yao Ming, who is to go number 1? And certainly with Houston having the number 1 pick,
right, they
needed the center. But I've been asked, regardless of what your needs are, if you had a chance to pick number 1, I said this guy, because I just saw his leadership skills at Duke. I saw the way he took the big shots. I love the way he finishes, and I love the way he runs the team.
And he's strong, so strong. Saw him last night in the hotel, and his mom and dad are here, and David and Althea, and he was kind of wrestling around with his dad. She said, guys, would you straighten out? There's people here. He turned around and saw it was me and said, I hope I get to play tomorrow night. I'm not playing much. So he's getting to play tonight. Baron Davis, the other guard, knocks down a 3. 97-60. It's tough on young kids. You come in, all of a sudden you go, man, is this what the NBA is going to be like? I can't even see any time.
It's a wake-up call is what it is. I mean, you're the best player on your college team. You go number 2 overall. And we talk about what Rafe LaFrance can do defensively. He can block shots. And he's one of those guys that defensively, he's around the bucket, he's athletic, and he comes off the ball very well to block shots. But, back to Jay Williams, you're the National College Player of the Year. I mean, you're the best player in college basketball. You're the number 2 pick overall, and you find yourself on a team where you're not playing a whole heck of a lot, and you understand that these guys are big time. The NBA is no joke.
Missed the free throw. Believe it or not, he's the only player to have won an NCAA title that's on this team. And Reggie Miller's the only player on this team that's ever been to the NBA Finals. You think about how good these guys are, you figure, man, they've played in title games all over the place. It's not that easy to come by.
But it wouldn't surprise me when you look at the rosters if you wouldn't see Paul Pierce in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, that's right.
Next 2 or 3 years. Elton Brand playing for the Clippers.
Brand ahead. Slams it down, and that makes 100. That's the way you hit the century mark.
Well, if they can't get Matthew Broderick to play in Inspector Gadget 2, maybe they get that guy. Because I tell you what, his arms just go forever.
Yeah, they do.
He's one of the quickest leapers in the NBA.
Now here he is leading the break. Baron Davis leads it back for him, or tried to. And New Zealand breaks that up. Then he comes up with a loose ball, wins the foul, and he got blocked by Elton Brand. It's a block party.
I don't think New Zealand wants to go to that party.
I don't think so either. Marion, deep three, got it. 103.60.
Well, these guys feeling no pain right now.
Not at all. This could end up being one of the bigger wins they've had. The United States beat Algeria 110-60. It's 103-60 here, and we've got a minute and a half left. Marion, what's he going to do? Gives it off to Brand. Layup.
Holy mackerel.
Wow. They're just hitting the buzzer here to get a timeout, just to get everybody to take a breath. 105-60. Happy George Karl now. The United States dominating here in the second half. Runs and there are runs. How about the second half?
57-18. Holy mackerel.
Yeah,
that's a monster run right there.
Greg Popovich, one of the assistant coaches. George Karl on the right. The head coach finally sat down. That's the first time he sat down all night. There's a minute 22 left.
He's got to be. He better get some bananas in him because he may be cramping up after the game.
He needs some potassium or something.
Exactly.
Backdoor cut. Jay Williams picks off that pass, comes out of the pile on the run, gets to the head. There goes the lead for Shawn Marion.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at that smile. Little showtime, 47-point lead with a minute to play.
I'm telling you what, with Marion, just get it somewhere near the rim, anywhere near the rim, and that guy's going to grab it and finish for you.
Robert Hickey's first field goal, and we're down under a minute.
See the way he runs, Marion. Marion runs like Tigger. He's like boing, boing, boing. His feet barely touch the ground.
He's got springs.
Yeah.
Fauci backs it out 40 seconds, 13 on the shot clock. United States will go to 5-0. They'll play 5-0 Argentina tomorrow night. We'll be there on ESPN2. We hope you join us for that one because you never know. There's another lob. You got to have some fun. And the U.S. now dominating New Zealand, but they didn't for a half. New Zealand hung for a half. The United States took over, never looked back. Started playing defense. That's where it seems to come from. When they started blocking shots, it turned their offense on. And they're pretty much winning going away now.
No, absolutely. I mean, it was all started at the defensive end. Defensive end led to offense, and now guys are just flat out having a good time. He's throwing balls up to Marion. He's getting dunks. Jay Williams getting steals. Guys are hitting three-pointers. And if I'm New Zealand, next time I get the ball, I'd probably just hold on to it for 6.3 seconds and get out of here and see if I can go find a good lager somewhere. Because you know the guys from New Zealand are about lager.
That's right.
They have no problem with that kind of stuff.
There's no doubt about that.
Maybe one more haka.
Street ball. I think they're too tired to haka. Street ball
right.
coming up. After this one, Jay Williams hit one of his 2 free throws, and it's all over as United States dominates 110-62. Close game at halftime becomes a rout in the second half, courtesy of Pierce and Finley and Marion and all the rest. United States 110, New Zealand 62. Tomorrow night it's Argentina. Likewise 5-0, the United States 5-0. Street ball presented by Mountain Dew. Code Red's coming up next. For now, from Conseco Fieldhouse, we're going to wrap it up tonight. The United States wins and wins big. For David Aldridge, Kevin Frazier, my partner Tom Toll.
It was shocked because I was like, where are they getting all these clips from?
We started out back in 1999, and we signed Rafer Alston, also known as Skip to My Lou. His family just gave us footage where we discovered